Hello everyone, it's Shirley Ann, and let me just get the Facebook on my computer happening, and there I am live, and welcome to this special, it's got my photo up there. Not quite sure how that's happening. Oh, there I am. Oh, better switch that off. Refresh that. I don't want to be listening to myself during the call. Everything's changing all the time. Natalie, thank you so much for being here, beautiful woman. Really, really appreciate you taking the time to join us for this very special call. And whoever else is watching, I really appreciate you contributing your energy to healing birth trauma on the planet. And yeah, lovely to have you here, Nat. So just a little bit of history, I guess, for me. And while I'm dealing with birth trauma, my original vocation was as a nurse and midwife. So straight out of school, I went nursing and ended up doing midwifery. And it was the most extraordinary thing, witnessing birth, truly incredible. And that was back in the 70s and 80s that I was a midwife. And I did some rebirthing. It's a breath technique. Some years ago as well, probably 20, 30 years ago. And I was asking my mother about my birth history, and she said, oh, you were easy. You didn't have, any contractions and any pain with your contractions. And I thought, oh, gee, I was good. I wasn't going to mess up with mum from, even from day one. But as I continued on my journey into consciousness and awareness, I had the awareness that she was actually drugged back in the 50s. That's what I think they did a fair bit of. So that changed so much for me, and she didn't really know what my birth history was. So fast forward to my birth of my first child, Gillian, nearly 36 years ago, and it was quite traumatic, lots of intervention. Being a midwife, of course, I was going to have the perfect birth, wasn't I? And the only alternative therapy that I knew about back then, and this was 1981, she was born December 81. Hi, Vixie. Hi, Vicky. Hi, Jackie. Thanks for joining me. And so was hypnotherapy. So I went and had several hypnotherapy sessions, and I was ready to have the most extraordinary birth. But when you're birthing and you're in that process, there's two of you. So she decided she wanted to come in with a brow presentation. So instead of having a head tucked under nicely and this part presenting, she had a head up. So we had all of this. So it was 2-minute long contractions with about 20 seconds respite in between. It went on for quite a few hours. I had an out-of-body experience. I know I was on lots of pethidine, and my obstetrician, who was the best in Newcastle at that time, decided that I could birth vaginally, and I was very grateful for that, and I ended up with a episiotomy and forceps and a beautiful baby girl. But what I know now is that with so much intervention, then that oxytocin does not kick in, that happiness hormone, that love potion that comes with natural birth, that allows you to forget the pain and step into that, which I had with my second child, my son, that beautiful love bubble that is present when you have those hormones running through your body. So I had, and I'm going to be quite frank here, I had lots of, hi Sue, hi Megan, thank you for being here. I had gross resentment toward my daughter, huge resentment. And I have realised after just spending 2 weeks in Darwin with her and my grandson that that is still quite prevalent, that there is I've been looking for words, but I was up there and it was last Friday, and I put my hand on her leg and I looked her in the eye and I said, I love you. But what I could feel in that moment was the lie that was in that. And I'm not saying that it's just one aspect that I've got to look at here. I love her, but there's something about loving her that is totally and completely, that is still not there. I have a lot of work to do on healing our relationship, and I believe that it has a lot to do with the birthing process that I went through. So when I'm putting the Sunday night calls together, I get the awareness on Saturday what the topic is to be, and very blessed that it is this topic of birth trauma. And I certainly want to look at shifting and changing and moving the hospitalisation, the medicalisation, the patriarchy, systemization that we've actually been subjected to for quite, a number of years now. So I certainly want to clear some energy around that as well. So I've got a list on my whiteboard here. It's quite messy. It is interesting, as you said, Julianne, that we have lots of women on the planet, and because of the hospitalisation and the interventions that happen, and my daughter had lots of intervention with her son, and I was blessed to be at the birth of my grandson. But it was one of the most joyful and one of the most agonising times of my life. It was horrendous to see the mismanagement and the intervention that was so unnecessary, that, as we know, Natalie, creates this cascade of more and more and more. And Jillian ended up having an epidural, and was really in a place. She went from the birth centre to the labour, upstairs to the labour ward, and she was threatened by the doctor. You have an hour to push this baby out or we're doing the next thing. So there's all this stuff that occurs that is not allowing the body to do what we know our bodies can do as far as the birthing process goes. So after being a midwife, I've contributed since then, with just a few asides here, to a couple of books. So Kate Tully's book, Peaceful Birth, Peaceful Earth. Thank you, Natalie. Also, A Modern Woman's Guide to a Naturally Empowering Birth by Katrina Zaslavsky. They're both amazing books. If you know anyone who is pregnant, then I highly recommend both of them. I have a technique that I developed as well to help birthing parents work together, know when there's tension in the body. And it was really an honour and a blessing to contribute to Katrina's book. And certainly I work with pregnant women as well, and it is with absolute joy that I work with them to release any fear and self-doubt. I know too that a lot of stuff, a lot of issues come in from other lifetimes. So I have this amazing gift to be able to identify when something is not from this lifetime. And what I've discovered over the years of working with pregnant women is that we have, in other lifetimes, being masculine, watching our female partner birth, as well as being female with a male partner watching birth. So when Z, my grandson, was 5 days old, Gillian's dad came over, and he, during the conversation, he looked at her and said, "How'd you go, honey?" And she said, "I had a really rough time, Dad." And he looked me straight in the eye and he said, "I remember someone having a really rough time 35 years ago." Now, he's still carrying the trauma of this birth. There's a photo of Gillian on my chest as a newborn baby and John across there. And I always thought he was just happy in that photo until one day I looked at it and I thought, that is sheer relief on his face. And the men carry so much trauma around birth. And there are different groups that are happening around Australia. So if you know any men suffering from, birth trauma, then certainly send them to the groups. There's Natalie Mead here in Newcastle, runs an amazing, the Hunter Birth Support Group, and she has incredible guest speakers. She is just truly fabulous in what she does and what she facilitates here in the birthing scene in Newcastle. So I also want to speak about Fremo Medical and Birthing Centre in Nairobi. So here we are, this amazing two men. One is a doctor, they're brothers, and the other one's the administrator of this birthing centre in the slums in Nairobi. And I think it was July, August, they had 300 births. I think there was one woman that went to hospital because she had a bleed and one episiotomy, and like most of the women stayed overnight, were all breastfeeding and sent home the next day. So this is what's possible when birthing is not institutionalized and when there is no money involved. These women are birthing with such joy over there now. It hasn't always been like that. But, this is a possibility. This is happening right now. And I know that there is so much going on and this is certainly not where I thought we'd be going tonight, but anyway, here we are. This is possible, and the natural birthing phenomenon, revolution that's going on. Katrina Zaslavsky is doing a brilliant job with global recognition of her work with natural birth. And natural birth is whatever it is. Like some women have cesarean and they feel that that's a natural birth for them. So I'm not saying that by any means that natural birth means vaginal birth. It's not about that. It's about doing and being totally comfortable and present with what works for every couple, every mother. And that's the important thing that we do need to remember in the birthing process, that there's no judgment. It's just like everyone's where they're at and it's whatever they choose. But the thing is that women need to claim their power back and choose what's best for them. And that's where we're all heading, Nat, which is really good. What else is on the board? Okay. So being in the hospital environment, I certainly saw the worst of birthing. And I've also been very blessed when I was on the Sunshine Coast as an energetic healer and midwife, not practicing in a hospital, but a healer midwife, to actually have as a client a woman who was pregnant with her sixth baby, and they were all home births. She was so in tune with her body. It was an absolute joy to actually work with her and witness how she was with her baby from when he was born. And you could walk around to her place anytime and she would be there in her knickers with this beautiful baby on her chest with just a hand towel or nappy between his legs. And that's how she was with that baby for months and months and months. And that was like truly such a joyful experience for me. So let's just get shifting some of this. And as I said, a lot of this has come about because of this awareness I had with my daughter on the weekend. And I held my relationship with my mum a couple of years ago, and I did that by wrapping a towel up, and every night going to bed, I would be my mother, the towel would be me as a baby, and I just spoke words of love to that baby. And it was just such an amazing, I remember it was July a couple of years ago, walking into that back room at mum's house and her arms were wide open and I just stepped into them. And it was truly just remarkable, and our relationship has been truly extraordinary since then. And last week in one of my groups, there was a woman talking about her relationship with her mother and how she wanted to change it. And I started writing to her, and I actually wrote that healing is having no past between you. So when you truly heal your relationships, there is no past whatsoever. And this is where my mother and I meet now. We meet in the present space with no judgment. There is just love between us. And mum's 83 and a half. An extraordinary woman raising 11 children. She birthed 11 times, for heaven's sakes. And so this is possible, and I am aiming to do that with my daughter. I have a lot of work to do around where my resentment is coming from. And our relationship, I believe, I know is very complex. There's a lot of past life stuff that goes in there as well. I have a gift for working in past lives and identifying stuff from other lifetimes. So I've been very aware of where we've been at in our relationship. And I still have a lot of healing to do. But let's start it tonight. And thank you for everyone who is here. Let's start it tonight and start shifting some of these things off the planet so that more people can have freedom with birth choice. And just know that you being on the call tonight and contributing your energy to change will actually ripple out and affect over 350,000 other people. So it has been documented in John Hawkins' book, Power versus Force, how this ripple effect does occur when we are willing to change where we're at with different things. I know, amazing and incredible, and so let's get on with it. So I'm just going to take a moment just to invite Mother Mary to be with us, Mary Magdalene, and Jesus, and all the Ascended Masters and the Archangels, because this is really, this is going to change a lot of things for a lot of people. And just invite our angels and guides to be with us as well, and anyone else who you feel you would like to have present with you, physical, non-physical. Might be a mum. Okay, so everything and anything past, present and future and for all eternity that allows birth trauma to exist on the planet. All the babies that have been aborted, that have miscarried, that have been stillborn. All the pain of birth, the intervention of birth, the intervention by the patriarchal system of medicalized birthing. Oh gosh, how heavy is that? The suppression of natural birth, the businessization of birthing, the lost sacredness of the feminine, the lost sacredness of the masculine, the lifetimes where you have been male watching your female partner, lifetimes you've been female birthing in a traumatic environment. Wow. So all the I get visions, and Sometimes I just can't speak them. Yeah, the horrendous birthing, the forced birthing, the birthing when you're not ready, the syntocinon, the yeah, all of that and all of that and everything that is and everything that is and all of that and everything that is and all of that and all of that and all of that from this lifetime, other lifetime, space, dimension, reality, universes, past, present, future, and for all eternity, including this one. Will everyone please take a big deep breath and deleting all the neural pathways, shifting all of that out the cellular memory, out the soles of your feet, gifting it to Mother Earth, asking her to change, transform, transmute it. Ooh, with total ease, total ease, total ease. So taking another big deep breath, thank you, and deleting all the neural pathways and shifting all of that out the cellular memory, out the soles of your feet, releasing, relinquishing, giving it up, letting it all go now, releasing all the trauma associated with birth, with birthing, with being birthed, with watching birth, releasing all of that and everything that is and everything that is and everything that is and all of that and all of that and all of that and everything that is and everything that is. Take a big deep breath, please. And deleting all the neural pathways and shifting. It's got layers, layers and layers. Shifting all of that out of the cellular memory. Releasing all of that and all of that and all of that. And releasing it out of your womb space. Everywhere where the oxytocin didn't activate. Everywhere where you didn't bond with your child, all the remembering the pain. That was the other thing with me. I remembered the pain for years. People said, oh, you forget the pain. I'm thinking, but I haven't. Oh, it used to drive me nuts. Now I know why I haven't, why I didn't. And I think that was the pain that created the resentment that I felt towards my daughter, because it was a constant reminder. So all of that and all of that and everything that is and everything that is and everything that didn't allow the natural ability of your body as female and the baby's body to do the natural thing. So all the interference around that, so releasing, relinquishing, giving that up, letting that go, everything that created, all the emotional, mental, physical trauma of birth, releasing all of that and everything that is, and take a big deep breath once again, and releasing out of the neural pathway, shifting that out of the cellular memory, releasing all of that and everything that is. Oh, all of that and everything that is and all of that and everything that is and all of that and everything that is and all of that and all of that and all of that. And of course we haven't got to really know what all of that is, but we're shifting it anyway. So another deep breath and deleting all the neural pathways, everything and anything whatsoever that's still allowing any or all of the birth trauma to be held in place, in space, dimension, reality, universe. Oops, I don't often burp, but there you go. Releasing ourselves, our mothers, our children, our husbands, our partners, past, present, future, and for all eternity, just releasing all of that. Releasing them, releasing ourselves from all of that, and all of that, and all of that, and all of that, and all of that. Just release, relinquishing, giving it up, letting it go now. Release yourself from that, free yourself from that now. Releasing all of that. Please make sure you've got plenty of water. Releasing all of that and all of that and all of it. Fabulous. Yep. Just let it go, Natalie. We are doing this. Yes. So releasing all of that and all of that and all of that. So all the ectopic pregnancies, all the miscarriages, all the pain and grief and sadness and loss and helplessness, hopelessness, anger, fury, rage, shame, blame, guilt, regret. A lot of that. Resentment, let's throw that one in. The helplessness and hopelessness of birthing as masculine, watching as feminine, going through the process. So releasing all that, still really heavy. So if anyone's got any comments about what's coming up for them, I'll just see what else is on my board. Okay, so all the lifetimes of having no support, birthing alone. So all the fear. Oh, wow. All the fear, all the fear, all the fear, attached to the unknown of birthing, attached to the first birth in any lifetime, where that self-doubt is so present with the fear, and we don't remember that we've done it before. We have it in ourselves, it's in our DNA. Bitterness around that, Sue, not having your partner present because they're off fishing. I had a cousin that was really angry because her husband was off fishing and she's birthing, and her son picked up on all that anger. And yeah, he had really, really big problems with depression, thinking that his mom didn't want him, didn't love him. But she was angry with her husband because he wasn't there. So all of that, just had a great vision of all the things that could have been, and they were so beautiful, and I felt the beauty. Beautiful. Nice. And it is. There are huge possibilities ahead waiting for us. There are incredible people doing amazing stuff around the world. And the very fact that natural birth is happening in Nairobi, in the slums, like truly, it is happening. And if we can just get, the medical system out of the way. So what do we got to do to work on that? So all the medical intervention, the medicalization of birth, the greed around birth, the, all of that. I can't, thank you, Sarah. So much anger and resentment for the lack of option, support and respect. Absolutely. So all of that and everything, that is all the anger and resentment. So everywhere where we don't have the options, don't have the support, don't have the respect, clear the fear and the medical staff. Everywhere medical staff aren't even trained in natural birth. In America, apparently 1 in 100 doctors have actually seen a natural birth. Like, how appalling is that? The anxiety in the medical staff, they're not trained in how to actually facilitate natural birth. They are all about medicalization and intervention and drugs and Caesars. In Brisbane a few years ago, the caesarean rate there was 62%. Like, holy moly, too many doctors. So everywhere where, what is that? Oh gosh. The masculine, the old masculine energy, the patriarchal energy of doing birth instead of allowing the feminine being birth. So releasing, it's absolutely pouring rain here. Can you still hear me okay? It's absolutely building down. I can put earphones in if you can't hear me. Can someone just make a comment if you can still hear me okay? So the fear in the medical staff, the anxiety, everything where they're not trusting, where they're not taught how to trust their intuition, how to trust the birthing process. So releasing, thanks Nat, releasing all of that and everything that is. Great, thank you so much. Releasing all of that. Oh my gosh. Good one, Nat. Releasing all of that and all of that and all of that. Everyone, it's amazing. Cleansing it all off. So please make sure you've got water. Have a drink. Really important with all of this that you keep drinking, keep hydrating. Right. Okay. Ooh. Okay. Okay, safety and security. So everywhere we feel unsafe in the hospital environment, everywhere we feel unsafe, not being allowed to, nothing like a cleanse, that's true. Where we don't feel safe to be able to make the choices, where we don't feel safe to allow our body. I know with Jillian, we got her to 5 centimeters at home, and I just knew that she could have birthed all the way at home, and that's just not how it was meant to be, and I get that. but not feeling safe, feeling that we can't trust our own bodies. We've been entrained to rely on the medical system, and I have a process that I'm the activator of the self-healing code, so you can actually put your hands on, well, as long as it's 2 hands on skin, and just say body activate the self-healing codes. So activate the self-healing codes, and activate. And it is a way for you to remind your body that it can actually self-heal. And I've done some amazing self-healing. I created a hernia earlier this year, which was about this big, and it's like just a tiny little egg now. So I just go to bed, put my hand on there, and activate the self-healing codes. The self-healing codes, really important, because when we activate the self-healing codes, so I'll get to that one. Excellent. When we activate the self-healing codes for ourselves, we're activating it for another as well. Hi, Sharon Swan. Okay, so all the authority that we've given away, everywhere we've given our power away to doctors, everywhere we have allowed doctors to take authority from the mother. I know as a nurse and a midwife, it was appalling what was going on even back then, and I know it's even more so now. So everywhere, everything and anything that's not allowing us to fully take our power back, to be fully empowered with our bodies in the birthing process. Now, talking about the birthing process now, it's not just about birthing babies, it's about, for me, of course, birthing ideas, birthing my business, birthing whatever it is that we want to birth moving forward, and feeling empowered to do whatever it takes. So it's feeling a lot better. Still something there that I can feel it around here. Speaking up, asking for what we want, be willing to choose, be willing to ask for what we want. For mothers to be willing to stand in their power no matter what, and know from their intuition, from their gut, and standing in the power, knowing that that is the way to go forward, even when they're under such pressure from doctors and nurses to do other stuff. And I was certainly privileged to spend time with a woman in Darwin who had a cesarean with her first baby, and very much stood in her power with her second baby to have the vaginal birth when she was under so much pressure. She actually fired her obstetrician, which I thought, wow, that's really, really cool. Fired her obstetrician and got another one so that she could just continue having support without being pressured to do something she didn't want to do. And she certainly knew that she could, she trusted her body to know that she could do that. So mothers helping mothers, I think that's really a great thing. I don't think there's enough. I mean, as I said, Natalie Mead's doing amazing, amazing things here in Newcastle, supporting mothers and birthing, not just pregnancy, but certainly moving into after that. She did an amazing workshop with a guest speaker on grief, all around grief from losing babies, which is really, really tough as well. So there's lots of support, and we've got to certainly encourage women to stand in their power, and that comes through choice. And the thing is that to be able to make conscious choices to do with pregnancy and birthing, that's where you have to be informed. And these two books, A Modern Woman's Guide to a Naturally Empowering Birth and Peaceful Birth, Peaceful Earth by Kate Tully, are two extraordinary books. And I know that Kate in her book has written a poem, and she says that, and she's in England. I actually sent her an email to see if I could get a copy of it so I could read it. But she's actually in France at the moment. Her computer's in London, but she'll send it. But the idea is that it's about creating peace in every generation, so that peace is sent forward generation upon generation, and eventually, because it's going to filter down, we'll actually have peaceful leaders, and that's where we're heading. I know there will be peace on earth. I've known it in the depth of my soul for a long, long time, and we're all contributing to that peace. The more we can be at peace with ourselves, and we better get on with doing some hugging the Lord to healing as well. It's being peace, and I know I really wanted to work with pregnant women, and I have, but not how I thought I was going to, but that's not what I'm here to do anymore. But I think the most important thing when women are aiming to be pregnant, and Natalie has an expo coming up. Natalie, would you please share the link as well, please? An expo for women thinking of becoming pregnant or who are pregnant. But one of the most important things is to create a peaceful environment when you're pregnant, when women are pregnant. And that's an internal and external environment. And thanks, Natalie. I don't think women get the importance of this, that every sound, everything that you are hearing when you are pregnant, the baby hears as well. There is a vibration to it. So it's really important to nurture this peaceful internal and external environment as much as you can. Thanks, Natalie. And if any of you on the call can share that and with anyone who might be thinking of being pregnant or who is, then I would be really grateful for that. Getting this peace around this beautiful baby that's growing in mummy's tummy is a vision that I know Kate Tully has, and her book's really beautiful. You'll find her on Facebook. They're both on Facebook, and I'll get the links and put there as well. Awesome. I think that feels pretty good. So we'll just go and we'll expand out and hug the world to healing and say the peace mantra. So I've sort of done it around birth. So let there be peace with pregnancy and birth. Let there be anyway, it'll come to us. So if you would like to just really get comfy now, and I'm just going to take you on a guided meditation where we actually expand out past the surface of the earth, and just send the earth lots of love and hugs. And then I'll guide you all the way back. Just trust and know that if you haven't meditated before, then it's just a simple thing. I just put you in the middle of a balloon. It's just like you expand the balloon out, and we get off the surface of the earth. Sometimes we go all the way to the edge of the universe. I have been beyond the edge of this universe on one occasion. So let's see where we go now. Okay, so just nice and comfy, whatever that feels like for you. Hands up, laying down, eyes closed, open, whatever feels comfortable for you. And just taking a deep breath from your perineum to your crown. And on the out breath, just allowing yourself to relaxing even more as you take the breath from your perineum all the way to your crown once again. And relaxing even more on the out breath, and then just breathing from your perineum to your crown once again. And relaxing even more on the out breath. And then bringing that breath from your perineum into your heart space. Beautiful. And now imagine that you're in the middle of a balloon. And we're just going to expand the balloon out as big as the room you're in, as big as the house you're in, as big as the suburb, as big as the city you're in, as big as the state you're in, as big as the country, and just going to the next continent, and now allowing yourself to be as big as the earth, and now 250,000 miles off the face of the earth, 500,000 miles off the face of the earth, 100,000 miles. You can feel it just going, whoa, bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger. Wow, beautiful. Wow. And just feel like you're floating out in space, which you are, energetically floating out in space. And just be aware of the peace that resides here. Just be aware of what you're experiencing, the sensations that you're feeling. And now just put your hands out like you're in a circle, and you may feel some energetic beings holding your hand. And we're just going to chant the peace mantra, just allowing love to pour in through our crown, out our heart, pure divine love, pouring through your crown, out your heart, towards earth. Let there be peace. Let there be peace with birthing on earth. And let it start with me. Peace with birthing in my mind. Peace with birthing in my heart. Peace with birthing in my soul. Peace with birthing in every cell of my body. Let there be peace with pregnancy. Let there be peace with pregnancy on earth, and let it start with me. Peace with pregnancy in my mind, peace with pregnancy in my soul, peace with pregnancy in my heart, peace with pregnancy in every cell of my body. Let there be joy with birthing on earth, and let it start with me. Joy with birthing in my heart, joy with birthing in my soul, joy with birthing in my mind, joy with birthing in every cell of my body. Let there be joy with pregnancy on earth, and let it start with me. Joy with pregnancy in my mind, joy with pregnancy in my heart, joy with pregnancy in my soul, joy with pregnancy in every cell of my body. Let there be love with pregnancy. Let there be love with pregnancy on earth, and let it start with me. Love with pregnancy in my mind, love with pregnancy in my heart, love with pregnancy in my soul, love with pregnancy in every cell of my body. Let there be love with birthing on earth, and let it start with me. Love with birthing in my heart, love with birthing in my mind, love with birthing in my soul, love with birthing in every cell of my body. Let there be peace on earth, and let it start with me. Peace in my heart, peace in my mind, peace in my soul, peace in every cell of my body. Let there be joy on earth, and let it start with me. Joy in my heart, joy in my mind, joy in my soul, joy in every cell of my body. Let there be love on earth, and let it start with me. Love in my heart, love in my mind, love in my soul, love in every cell of my body. Just allow yourself to float, feel the freedom, the peace, the space. And just see all that beautiful energy cascading around the earth, healing the earth. As we're hugging the earth to healing, hugging the world to healing. This love, joy and peace, healing, birthing and pregnancy on the planet, with the work that we've done tonight, with the work we're doing now. Just knowing that this is creating revolutionary change. Okay. Now some of you will be aware the energy's just shifted. So we're going to just start like shrinking back down. Just coming back now. Just allowing yourself to come back. I know it's nice and you probably want to stay out there forever, but it's not possible at this point. So just bringing yourself back to the surface of the earth. Allowing yourself to give her a big hug as you're coming back now, coming back now. Coming back, all the way back now, all the way back to your country, all the way back to your state, all the way back to your suburb, all the way back to your house, all the way back to your room, and all the way back to your chair. Ooh. Okay. Wow. Oh, that was pretty cool. Very cool. Thank you so much for joining me. I know we've probably gone a little over time. I usually only go for half an hour, but I knew this would be pretty intense and take a little bit longer, so I really appreciate you all being here. If any of you require ongoing support, then I'm certainly available for sessions if anyone feels that, thanks Nat, anyone feels that they would like some ongoing support, then please get in touch. And yeah, very cool, Nat. I think that was pretty extraordinary. I think we've changed quite a lot. So blessings. I'm so grateful that you are here. Please know that if you can share this with someone who you feel would contribute, the more people that listen to this, the more we're going to shift more energy going on. So if there's anyone else that you can share it with, you might want to share it on Hannah Birthing Support, Nat, if that feels right for you. Okay, everyone, blessings. Thank you. And till next Sunday night, we'll see you then. If you just tuned in, then please go and watch the whole thing because it was pretty powerful. Okay, blessings, everyone. Thank you. Bye now. Bye.